Warkworth could be on the cusp of a major growth spurt as the amount of land earmarked for development in the town has increased again. As Auckland Council grapples with record high house prices, the Unitary plan includes a dramatic increase in development land. In Warkworth, an additional 250 hectares will be zoned as future urban, making the development zone nearly 30% larger than in earlier plans. That could see Warkworth's population grow well beyond the 20,000 people forecast in the next few decades. The additional land is to the west of Warkworth, beside the route of the yet-to-be-built Puhoi to Warkworth motorway. Warkworth planner Burnett McNichol says development is already heating up.
There is already a lot of development happening in Warkworth. So we've got a Z service station that's been constructed on the northern side of town. The Grange development is developing very rapidly. So things that have been in train for quite a long time are all of a sudden, because the demand is there, actually being constructed and developed. So the landscape is changing pretty quickly in Warkworth. There's a whole lot of new residential development and things. And a lot of things are occurring out of zone, or there's plan changes and things that people are seeking to change the zoning to enable different activities. And that means that you can potentially get ad hoc development, things happening that might be okay, but might not be in the best context of Warkworth when you look at the whole entire area being developed in 20 years' time.
Ms McNichol says Warkworth now desperately needs a structure plan to determine how Warkworth will grow.
We think that it'd be great for Warkworth to have a community-led structure plan, that we do have council on side with us and on board, but it's people in our community and the community as a whole, through consultation and things, figuring out what is best for Warkworth moving forward. There's lots of things to consider, like connectivity between our business areas, our urban areas, our industrial areas, and that's pedestrian and cycle connectivity, roading connectivity, how things are serviced, what are the important characteristics of Warkworth.
There have also been changes to the restrictions governing residential development in some areas of Warkworth.
The panel recommendations on the Unitary plan for Warkworth have suggested some changes. Typically, Warkworth has had 600 square metre sections, which is standard and called single house under the Unitary plan. There are 2 areas of land in Warkworth where some higher density has been provided for by way of live zoning, which means it can be developed now. One of those is off the end of Belvedere Place, I think it is, and the other piece of land is up by Mansell Drive in Warkworth, and they provide for 300 square metre and 400 square metre type development, but it could potentially be more intensive through a process of design and whether it's apartments or whatever that are constructed. So that's quite a significant change.
Warkworth planner David Hay says broad restrictions for making alterations to buildings built before 1944 have also been removed.
I think for Warkworth and for many other areas which don't have the degree of character that needs protecting, it's a much better result, because it means a lot of those pre-1944 houses, which in many cases don't meet the type of housing modern families require, can now be upgraded or removed and replaced with a more modern house.